Oh, hi there. You startled me. I guess I guess I was a bit preoccupied, you see. I was just putting this pot away. I don't need it anymore. Just a few days ago, this was the pot that kind people put money in. You see, because I was crippled. I had been so from my birth. I couldn't use my feet. But amazingly, all that has changed. And I know that sounds so fantastic, it's hard to believe. But here, come, sit down, and I'll tell you my story. My life story is one of sadness. When I was born, my feet were misshapen, and they had no strength to support me. You know, I used to watch. I'd see the other boys and girls, but I could not walk or run and jump and play like all the other boys and girls. And as I got older, the only option I had to support myself and to feed myself was to beg in the streets. I had to depend on other people's kindnesses in order to feed myself. I can tell you that this was a very, very difficult life. People, they could be very, very cruel. And sometimes, when people had nothing to give, I would go hungry. I lived in constant depression because I had no reason to believe that my life would ever get any better. Then, just last week, there were these two men called Paul and Barnabas. They were traveling and they were preaching as they went. And they stopped near me and they taught many people who had gathered to hear them. And they taught about a man named Jesus, the Son of the one and true God. And I listened to them, and their message filled me with joy and hope, and I believed in my heart that these things they were saying were true. And suddenly, Paul turned to me, and he looked intently upon me, and he said in a loud voice, "Stand upright on your feet." And something happened in that instant. A tingling, a sensation I had never felt before. My feet, they were given strength, and I sprang up. I couldn't believe it. I was leaping and jumping around. Praise God for His mercy and kindness. Well, I can tell you that when all the people saw this, it caused quite a commotion. They cried out that the gods had come down in the likeness of men. They were so convinced of this that they called Barnabas Zeus, and Paul they called Hermes. Now, the priest of Zeus even came down from the temple, and he wanted to offer sacrifice with all the crowds. And you would have thought that Paul would have been happy about something like that, have this done for him. But no, he cried out, "Men, why are you doing these things? We also are men like you. We bring good news that you should turn from these vain things unto a living God, who made heaven and earth and sea and all that is in them." Even after saying all these things, they could hardly stop the people from sacrificing unto them. You know, not everybody was happy with Paul and Barnabas. In fact, there were some of these men who came from Iconium and Antioch, and they were so angry with him that they came and they stoned him. We thought he was dead. He was so lifeless that he was in such rough shape that they dragged him out of the city thinking he must surely be dead. But he rose up again there. And then on the very next day, he continued preaching the gospel and made many disciples. What an incredible week it's been. Hey, maybe even if you hurry, you can catch up with Paul and Barnabas and see for yourself the wonderful things that are happening.
I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God to salvation unto all.